That too. Alrighty, we are now out of ads. Let's see. Hopefully my audio is coming across fairly well for you folks. Hello, hello, hello. And everything looks to be right. Hopefully. Yes. Okay, everything looks to be right for once. Hello and welcome, dear spirits, to the Tables of Tartarus, a chapter of Purgatory Corner. Today I am your storyteller, Sinspeaks, and we shall be continuing the tale of Tyrant's Wrath. Come on in, take a seat, and let your imagination run free. As always, we are here with Ania, Cyril, Gelmar, Dakota, and Sapphire, with Rue joining a little bit later. Players T. If you guys want to see all the people who are playing with us today, feel free to check them out. Or if you guys want to see all the different characters, feel free to go over there. Hopefully I can pin. I can. Yay. Things are working out weirdly well. This is weird. Why is everything working out so well, guys?
It means Foundry is going to crash an hour from now.
I'm being cursed.
Oh, no. You've already got your problem. You've already got your problem. I can't navigate Foundry exceptionally well right now.
You know what?
I can access my character sheet. That's about it.
All right.
Even if it does crash, we already know what our backup plan is.
That's true. And I know how to fix everything as well. So I have more knowledge now than I did. How long ago was that? 2 months ago? Sometime. But last episode, you guys dealt with part of Cyril's backstory, going and attacking the dust manufacturing. You guys did a pretty hefty blow to a lot of dust manufacturing area, including dealing with a very high class wizard, whom I cannot remember the name of at the moment. Draenor, thank you. A high class wizard named Draenor, as well as his companion, who is a high class sorcerer, I believe. You guys basically became the epitome of a newfound rumor of a forest spirit deity with a dragon companion. And spooked the ever-living shit out of everything and everyone in there. You guys also managed to burn down part of the forest, which was then contained by a significant quantity of druids. Afterwards, you guys went back to the Joes, one which I desperately want to call Sleepy, but, you know, that's just because I find it funny. But there was a lot of different Joes. Joseph, John Joseph, Jojo. It's a lot of different Joes. You guys talk with them. They basically took the remaining survivors. Oh, good job, Bucket. The remaining survivors that Rue had managed to save from Cyril's rampage. They took them to a nearby town in order to get them some kind of food, rest, and rehabilitation. Cyril and Sapphire were off on their own for a little while. Sapphire comforted Cyril, trying to kind of install him the idea that, you know, even if he is not 100% in his right mind, you know, people still care for him and want to see him trying to get better and survive, and they want to help him in any way that they can, regardless of, you know, if he believes he deserves it one way or another. They came back after a certain point in time, and you guys then started talking about your future plans. Gelmar informed the party that his sister is somewhere up inside of the Ironspire Peaks based on the information that he has, and that he is wanting to get there as soon as possible. You guys debated on a few different ways of using your teleportation for a little bit, the pros, the cons, the difficulties that are arising, and you guys have decided that going to the Ancient Grove, the tree, and then going back to Gleaming Meadows in order to go to Riverside Haven all the way over to the Ironspire Peaks is probably your best bet. This entire journey, to the best of y'all's knowledge, all the way up to the Ironspire Peaks, will probably be around a month by the time you guys get to the mountains themselves. And you guys have more or less steeled yourself for, you know, that kind of journey. The difficulties lying in there, the Crimson Claw or the Crimson Talons, and the Vampire Lord being so far away from you guys. The Shadowstar Kingdom having corruption adds. What? No. Shadowstar Kingdom having corruption at pretty much its highest points, and all the difficulties that lie in there, you guys will essentially be yeeting yourselves away from it to a degree. So I'm very, very curious on how your guys' characters feel right now, having all this information. So we'll just go more or less down the list. Ania, how's your character feel about this situation so far?
So last time Ania was starting to freak out quite a bit, and she's still in that phase. Is this the same night, or is this like the morning after?
Either one, honestly. You guys will have more or less uninterrupted 8 hours before you go with your plan, so.
Okay, so we can do like a long rest real quick.
Yeah. All you're welcome to do a long rest.
Yay. So Ania's been highly stressed, and she took on last watch, because all last night, when she wasn't pacing and trying to think of whatever they're going to do, because they have so many things they're juggling, and she's taking it pretty much on herself. That when she wasn't doing that, she was sitting down working with the poison, the venom she harvested, and the moon dust she harvested, and she even like summoned a Lafari, her little wingling familiar, for a bit during the night to just rant to them in Sylvan. Specifically, apparently preferring to vent to her familiar rather than to any of the party members. So she's been like pacing, and in the morning, she's probably going to be really like she's going to be waking up last, of course.
Okay. Cool. Cyril, how do you feel after your day of tiredness? Cyril?
A mix of still shame and that like exhaustion that comes over you after you've had a massive outburst.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit as calmed down as I am, I still have an axe to grind with the elves at this point.
Well, you are going to their main territory here soon, so you might get a chance to sharpen that axe. Yeah.
He may have that opportunity to file a formal complaint with his quote-unquote superiors.
Yeah. Dakota, let me know how you feel.
Dakota is appreciative that they're all willing to go to the tree first. But he's also really nervous because they're gonna be going to the tree first. And he's not entirely sure what to expect.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yalmar.
A very luxury of oh god, 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 going back and forth in his head, most notably because he is very terrified about what's going on with his sister, but he also knows he can't really rush the group right now.
Very fair. All right. And Sapphire.
Mainly confused about the Kenku.
It's a fair thing to be confused about.
Just worried about that one king. Like, what is going on with it?
Why is he here? Stares at him.
I love how Sapphire is like mostly unconcerned with everything that's been going on, and it's just like on a completely different page from the rest of us. But like I'm kind of here.
Yeah, it's just like we fought multi-dimensional planes, and that was okay. We saw a giant eyeball, that was okay. But what
shot it.
is wrong with this Kenku?
What is this Kenku?
All right. Well, so you guys kind of all get up in the morning. Obviously, Ania wakes up last. A few of you guys wake up first. Rue is just kind of like seeming in her own head again. She's just kind of she wakes up a little bit later than she normally does, I would say, and she kind of just is just a little bit away from the rest. You're kind of waiting for everything to start, more or less. You guys do have the teleportation stone. Do you guys want to talk to each other before everything goes through? Anything you guys have seen during the night? It was a very, very quiet night.
I think Ania had a plan.
Mm-hmm. Ania, she does want to use Animal Messenger
Mhm.
to send the book on vampires to Roderick, but she wants to send the Animal Messenger with the book to Stilmere first, and then tell Roderick, hey, I'm sending this animal and book here. You need to pick it up, and that way you'll be able to pick it up outside of the vampire's influence.
Okay. And remind me real quick, what's the book exactly? Is that the weird medical journal thing that you guys found?
No. We
Okay.
already gave that. She gave that to Roderick personally before they left.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The book is the book on vampires she got from Grimley that she's paying
right.
for.
Okay.
So since she can't go there, she's hoping that this will help Roderick in some way, at least to keep the vampire occupied. If not, like, she doesn't expect Roderick to kill the vampire, but at least, to not die and to keep a handle on things.
Smart. Okay. Yeah, you are more than easily able to do the animal messenger. You're using a fox, you said?
Let me think.
We'll fox him.
Fox. It needs to be able to carry the book, and this is not like this is kind of a big book, right?
Yeah, it's a decent sized one. It's like a novel length, I would say.
Okay, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would get a friendly fox if there is one around, and she would give it the book. And I'm trying to think, because the messenger needs a place or a person. Was there? Oh, where did Alexandria drop us off at? Did that seem to be a designated spot? Because we had a camp right before we went into town, didn't we?
Yeah, you guys had a small camp. It was just a small clearing that she just wandered into, basically. Nothing of particular importance. Would
I be able to, or would Ania be able to direct the fox to leave the book there?
Yeah. It would be a small clearing just outside of Stilmere, so it won't be too hard for it to find it.
Okay, so she would direct the fox, please take this book to this clearing outside this town of Stilmere, which has the protection of the forest around it. You'll be able to feel it. And just leave this in a clearing next to a tree. And someone will pick it up. And then she's going to need a sending stone from one of the group, because she gave hers to Cyril, because Cyril gave his to the Joestars. So she will go around them still kind of sleepy and ask for whoever doesn't want to use their sending stone for a message today.
I'll hand hers back to her.
All right, she'll take it, and I'll write up the message while everyone talks. So Ania's just sitting holding the stone, staring at it while she thinks, while everyone else is talking.
Cool. You all are more or less awake at this point. Sapphire, you're still seeing the Kenku. He's just kind of chilling on a tree branch at this point, just laying down on it, his bag next to him or whatever, just out of the corner of your eye. But yeah, the rest of you guys, you wake up, look around at each other. Y'all doing surprisingly okay physically.
I asked the Kenku why it's following me.
You see it leans down and kind of hooks its legs on the branch. And it looks at you upside down, and he's just I don't know, kind of fun.
Did she say that out loud?
Good question.
Can the Kenku read minds?
You have no idea.
Then yeah, I'd probably say it out loud.
Cool. So you guys just see Sapphire sitting up, staring at tree branches, like, why are you following me?
I mean, I've heard of the wind carrying around tree branches from location to location, but I've never heard of them grafting them to other trees.
Sapphire chuckles and says, "Not the branch, the Kenku."
I'm sorry, the what?
Kenku.
He's just staring back between the branch and her.
I think this is when I would activate my divine sense
Okay.
to look where she's looking.
Let me just double check that right quick. Make sure I'm not saying anything off. You are not getting anything from it, no. You open up your divine sense, you stare at the branch, and it's a tree.
You know, my eyes are not nearly as special as Aeneas.
What? She like looks up. She wasn't paying attention at all. She just heard her name.
the Kenku that the mist was talking about the other night.
Oh yeah. And Ania, like, she's still sleeping. She like waves her hand towards the group. Whatever the moon dust did to Sapphire, she's actually sort of already had that before the moon dust. I don't know what it is though. She just drops that.
She's
Are you
kind of just
seeing
always
things?
high. Was it zero?
So, are you seeing things, or does this Kenku come from where you came from?
Well, I'm definitely seeing him. And then I turn to the Kenku and be like, "Did you come from the Feywild?"
Well, depends on what you mean come from. Do you mean like, did I travel from? Do you mean like, was I already there? Do you mean like, I go there frequently?
Yes, all of those.
I'm not sure. See, you're cool. So like, I catched a ride, so to speak. It's kind of neat. I have no idea where we are. Where are we? It's kind of cool.
What do you mean you catched a ride?
Ah, well, you see. He just kind of like stares at you.
How long have you been following me?
Oof. What was that town that you were just in?
What was the town, Sin? I
Still
cannot
mirror.
remember. Stilmere?
Oh, since then. See, the big buddy boo saw you, and then I was like, whoa. And then I was like, yeah. And then I was like, whoa. And then I was like, in your head. I think. It might not be in your head. Am I in your head? I don't know. Do you want to hear more bagpipes?
No.
Oh. You want a sandwich?
What kind of sandwich?
Well, you see, it's a meat sandwich. It's a pretty good sandwich. I learned it from a friend of mine, I think. I don't remember his name. He was a nice guy.
Can I physically hold it? Or is it something I'm going to have to eat in my mind?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'll get back to you.
So he was in the uh, portal, I guess you'd call it. I don't know what you call that thing.
Portal's a pretty good descriptor.
Anya perks up again.
Portal? You mean the gateway to the astral plane? Or astral sea?
Yes. The one where the big eye was.
Well, I don't see him anywhere, but the astral sea is sort of a mix between. It's like a graveyard for deities and such, but it's also where the constellations live.
Is the Kenku a deity?
Whatever he is, he seems to be in my mind, so I can only see him.
A moment later, you feel like him like resting his arm on your shoulder. You realize he's like 2'2" as you're like sitting down. He's coming up to your head as you're sitting. He's like leaning his arm on your shoulder, and he's like, good day today. Although he looks slightly different. The other Kenku that was on the tree is now gone.
Nice day for fishing.
He looks slightly different. How?
He has less scarring than the one on the tree did. It's definitely the same Kenku,
Okay.
but yeah, slightly less scarring.
Why do you keep changing your features? I guess.
Keep changing? Whoa.
You didn't know?
No. Wait. I can change? How do I change? I must learn this tactic.
Well, every time I see you, you're different. So I guess it has to do something with that.
Whoa. Neat. Well, you guys are just getting like half of the conversation at first, and she's like looking to her side now.
Just Gilmar staring at the scene unfolding. Just turns over to Cyril. Do you think we should give them some space? Probably use another run or I could probably use another instance of that riposte training if you've got them on some time.
I think that would be a good idea. Sure. Yes. I'm
What are
not
you gonna
sure
say,
if
Neil?
we be worried or not.
So I have the message done. 25 words, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have
25 words
exactly
left, yes.
25.
Nice.
So she's going to send to Roderick, leaving book on vampires in clearing by Stillmere for you. Cannot return until next month. Emergencies, sorry. Please do not blow up anything. Be safe.
Okay.
And I can copy paste that for you if you want.
Yeah. I'll put in notes as well so I can look at it later. He will reply with, let me see how I want to do this in my head. It takes about a second or two, but he replies with confirmed. I'll send Cade to retrieve. A month. May find group to deal with problems. 15 here. Take your time. Be safe. Kingdom doesn't wait. That's 24, I think.
Okay. And before Cyril and Gilmer go off, and he is gonna do this big groan and be like, project's probably not gonna wait on the kingdom. I may be able to convince him more if I send him another message. I have something to use against him. And she'll like search for another sending stone to use for someone's sending stone.
I think Gilmar's is already discharged, actually, but
You guys just woke up, so you won't be fully charged again. Unless you sent a
just mean
message in the night.
I sent him messages before I went to bed. It was basically just to prod his sister's mind for any potential hints he might be able to find to, or he might be able to use in order to pinpoint them.
Okay. You would done it before you went to bed, so dawn would have ticked over, so it would have refreshed by now. If you want to give it to her, you can.
Yeah, he will. As he's passing by, he'll just look over and hold out. Be careful. I'd trust
Right,
that
and
man about as far as I could throw him. I think I guess
Oh,
I probably could throw him reasonably far.
No, you
Whatever,
probably
you
could.
understand.
He's really light. I trust him though. He's nice.
she'll go back to sitting and staring at the stone while she thinks of another 25 words to send.
Fair enough. Dakota, what are you doing while this is all happening?
I guess I can let the knight know I'm heading over to the frickin' tree.
You are more than welcome to do so if you'd like to.
Is there a mirror around here? Or a conveniently clear body of water?
Considering it's a forest, most bodies of water are not particularly hard to find. Rivers, streams, small
Puddles.
lakes, puddles. They're decently splattered around the areas. So finding one would not be particularly hard. I assume at least one of you guys has some kind of extremely reflective material that you guys might use as a mirror for hair or general clothes checking or something like that as well.
I mean, I keep a mirror for shaving, I think.
Yeah. I just shaved the antlers here real quick.
That full thick beard that grows on the skull, you know?
Yeah. It pops out of your helmet, you know. You gotta make sure it's neatly trimmed.
That's actually a either incredibly funny or incredibly horrifying image to me.
It's fair. Yeah, you would probably have something reflective, or you can go and find a puddle if you want something bigger.
Yeah. I mean, I can ask one of the peopleses for a mirror of some kind or something.
Okay. I would assume either Ania or Sapphire would most likely have a mirror.
Well, I can head over to Ania if she's finished staring at her rock.
She's not.
Oh,
Stare,
still
stare,
staring at the
stare.
rock. Okay.
Stare.
Stare.
Love the idea that you walk over it to Ania and you're just staring at her while she stares at her rock.
I mean, are you trying to be secretive about contacting the knight?
Good question.
Because if it's any reflective surface, you could just like polish. You could just polish up somebody's shield or like a knife blade.
Bruise armor.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You can talk directly into Rue's chest.
Oh, you know, I still need to hand Cyril the glaive back,
This is true.
so
yeah.
I could just do it in that.
That would be fair.
No?
Mm-hmm.
You're more than welcome to kind of polish that up if you'd like, and then you can talk to your patron through it.
I can. So I think Dakota's gonna like head over to where he put the glaive down.
Mhm.
I don't know if Cyril is like right there, but you know, before he hands it back, he's like, yeah, and like take his poncho or something and polish it up enough for it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then I don't remember the details on the spell. I think feature.
It's a feature.
Feature. Where did I put it? There. Why do I have
Uh,
so many features?
Because these are all different things that you get from your class as well. So like with Beyond and so
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one this was called though.
Huh. I put it in my notes. I don't remember if I actually got it on the foundry, but let's see. Oh yeah, here. Well, it's to do so during a long rest, so this counts.
Mhm.
Receiving or conveying information. Okay, so there's no time limit. It's just like a conversation, effectively. I assume I
Okay.
just determine how long it is. Yeah. So I'll just like polish it out like enough. And they're like, all right, I'm heading over to the tree now. Should be there momentarily.
There's a obviously you're
Sir?
just like semi-polishing it, so it's not like a mirror finish or anything like that. But you do see kind of like, through the reflection, it like darkens a little bit, and shadows kind of crawl along the edges, and then you see like kind of sort of the helmet of the knight. Clearly, obscured to a degree, darkness in the eye sockets and stuff, and he goes, "Finally, good Lord, me! What took you so long? I sent you, what was a month for you mortals? Ah, so slow. I was gonna send somebody else to do that here soon. Man. You were thinking about not doing it, right?
There's a lot of delays.
So I see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as
Yeah,
long as you're
well-
getting it done, you're not 100% a waste of space. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that all you wanted to tell me?
Yeah, just wanted to make sure that I'm not sure if you have any proper eyes over there. They still haven't finished whatever they were doing.
I have no idea. I haven't really been keeping track. I have, other things to do as, a multi-planal, creature. Shocking,
Clean
I
up
know.
your house?
What?
That was... Didn't you have a house over...
Yes, how did you know?
I don't know, I just kind of showed up one day
You
there.
showed up at
while I
my
was asleep.
house?
Not on purpose!
Oh.
How did you even get one? Don't you live in the Shadowfell or something?
Of course I do. I have connections. You think Shadowfell is just one large area full of shadows? That is very disappointing.
Yes.
Oh. Where do you think
This one
we
looks-
sleep?
In the shadows?
You are a very
don't know.
disappointing creature.
I know.
For the record,
Well,
my house is nice.
you got a lot of boxes.
I will hurt you.
Uh-huh.
See you.
Alright, well, that's the status update done.
Then get it done. And you see it just disappear.
Alright, okay. I'm going to hand this clip back over to Cyril.
Yes, Cyril, Galmor, and Nia, Sapphire, you all just hear like Dakota talking to you. Do hear the knight as well. This is the first time I think
Okay.
most of you guys have heard the knight too.
Who was that, Dakota?
That was the patron I'm talking. Calls himself the Knight.
He's a lot nicer sounding than I thought he would be.
I mean, sounds nice, but
I mean,
Always- Hmm?
he certainly seems a bit more rude than I would think.
yeah. When he shows up, he's a lot fancier about it. But we've kind of gone to a casual business acquaintanceship where he spends most of his time hating me and talking about the natural order of nature.
I don't think anyone from the Shadowfell or Feywild can talk about the natural order of nature.
Well, I don't know much about him, but from what I can gather, I don't think he's from the Shadowfell. He just lives there.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Sapphire, you see the Kenku kind of like he swims in front of you through the air and he goes spooky.
And Ania has her second message for Roderick.
Cuckoo.
This should also be exactly 25 words. So, following Mean Yonti to Elysian's tree, what happened in Steelmere, worse there, related. Blowing up kingdom will complicate, danger whole forest, bandit family included.
I'm not sure how you would reply to that. Thank you. I was about to ask. Following Mignon T. Ooh. What happened to worse they're related? Blunt Kingdom will complicate. Interesting. Okay.
Mm.
He will reply with uh oh my god. I'm trying to think I had to phrase this in a fucking in non-technological world view. He's gonna say through birds heard story of revolutionary. I hate the fact that's one word. Could be useful. Won't blow up, but might take down. It's 12, I think. Will inform if more happens. Forest will be safe. I don't know if that was 25 words. That was probably like around 20, but Forest will be safe.
Okay. Ania will seem relieved and give both Cyril and Gilmar their stones back if they're off training. Like, okay, he says he won't blow it up now. He still may do something, but maybe he'll get distracted by the whole vampire thing. He also said something about a revolutionary. He didn't say a lot, but he said that there is a revolutionary, I guess, near the tree or by the kingdom that may be useful. So an individual of some kind, but he didn't give me much information.
Well, with him, that could be either great news or terrible news. Unfortunately, I suspect we're not going to know for certain until we get there.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like pretty great news to me.
Too.
So Gamar and Cyril, you two go off to train for a little bit. Nia, Dakota, Sapphire, what are you three kind of discussing, if anything?
I feel like Rue would join us if she was here.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Heck, maybe you should go on her sheet and roll for how many pips she gets. It's during, or when we go to figure that bit out.
Yeah,
Sorry,
she'll
I'm
be
very
getting
terrible at
additional.
speech today.
No, you're fine. She'll be getting additional pip to her. What is it called? Oh, intercept. Yeah. Ooh, wow.
Intercept? I thought she was learning riposte. I thought she already mastered intercept.
Oh, did you already do that? Yeah, so she's probably learning riposte in that case. Weird. Yeah.
All right. Dakota's probably gonna be talking with Ania about the plans. So he'll probably head over and we'll just like, all right, what's the plan for when we head into the tree? I want to head in first.
Well,
See what's going.
I'm a little bit worried about that. I was hoping that your patron had some sort of idea of the location because the way our teleportation device we got works, if we don't know the location, we just sort of appear in an area. So we need to decide what the parameters we want to think of are. Do we want to be inside the tree? Do we want to be like by the conflict in the tree? Do we want to be outside the tree? That's, I think, the most important thing we have to consider and decide.
Mm.
We have to give the teleporter something to work with. And this is our first time using it, so we don't know what it will do to the area around us as well, if it will do anything.
In which case, we could probably try to play it safe and be outside, and then we can try to figure out how to get it.
That's true. We do have technical permission from the ambassador, but she's not well liked among the elves. But since 2 of her own people went in, maybe it'll be fine. Oh, but they're going to wonder how we got here so fast. We could say we were sort of in the area already. They don't know we were over here.
I'd rather try to avoid, if the names of the people there are correct, I'd rather try to avoid those characters. But
Names of the people?
okay, so Cindy, you're gonna have to remind me, because I remember one of the people's names, but the most important one is the one I don't remember the name of.
So the two people that you know for a fact went there was Everon Moonblade and Kieran Star Whisper.
Kieran?
Yeah, Kieran Star Whisper. Basically, to the best of Ania's knowledge, that would be the head of the entire Elven military and the highest level researcher in the entirety of the Elven Citadel.
So Everon's the head of military and Kieran is a high researcher?
Yes.
Do I know anything about Kieran from my childhood?
He is well regarded as one of the most influential seats in the council. He is generally not in the council, like in the area, because he is constantly going around and researching. But when he says something, his voice essentially is the ruling words. Trying to think. Thank you for the hydration. Either it's his grandmother or his mother. I will decide on that later. But one of them is the other Star Wars bride mentioned. The one, let's see, what was her name? Seraphina Star Whisperer. The one who built the Star Shadow Library. He takes after her quite effectively. And so essentially he is the person who is more or less the ruler to the best of your knowledge. And he is also pretty much the #1 information center on the planet. Any topic that you can imagine, he has had a hand in.
Ania thinks about it for a while, and she doesn't question Dakota, but she's like,
well, I can't imagine we can do anything those 2 can't. So if you're really lucky, one of them's already dead.
And she says this, of course, casually. And she's like, continuing to think on it. I was like,
but I don't think we can help in any way without them knowing if they're alive. On the bright side, I don't think they have... I'm sure they probably have Moonbeam, which is a problem. But they won't have any technology, maybe, that uses Moonbeam, which is what I'm worried about. I think that's more likely to be in the actual kingdom itself. They aren't expecting anything by the tree. Then again, they could have heightened security. It's all could happen. I just don't think it's as likely.
I figured is, we go there, we sneak into the tree, and then we shoot all the Yuan-Ti, and then head out. That was my plan.
I don't think the plan's going to go as smoothly as you're hoping it will. But if we can do that, maybe.
And she'll look at Dakota and she'll be like, that researcher is going to know what book character you are. And I don't think that will do what you're fearing it will do, but it will raise questions. You may want to not change your form, but like wear a cloak or something so you don't look exactly like him.
Hmm.
You'll be going incognito as Dakota.
All right.
Because they probably already have information that 2 Dragonborn, half-elf, 2 elves, and Cyril are on the way. So you can't really change, neither can I. Especially me.
Hmm.
And
Well, it could
Cyril.
always could always just like shift the color of the scales, right?
Good.
Mhm.
That would be enough.
But the
I-
rest of the party would know.
True, and Dakota would not be, I don't think Dakota would himself would like that. Because he's
Mhm.
Dakota.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, I actually started with a costume or a set of costume clothes that I could technically hand out. The only problem is we never actually decided what those look like.
Mhm.
I don't think I've actually had Dakota attempt to actually shapeshift for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Ania's just suggesting a cloak or something. Like,
Yeah.
actual Dakota writer being incognito in one of his books is what she's suggesting.
Yeah. I could try to stealth out, but if everyone sees my gun, that's the main issue.
Will they recognize the gun? I didn't think the gun was an issue.
Everyone will. Kieran might not.
Everyone will.
Mhm.
I thought your problem was with the researcher. Why are you in trouble with the military leader? What did you do?
Did a lot of things. It's a long time.
Okay.
Wouldn't a cloak hide the gun? Unless you draw it, of course.
Good, but I'd rather like to keep the most interactions brief. I don't want to have to go into battle with, and I don't know where they might be.
Also, some of the stuff Ania said was said with assuming that her and Dakota were talking just together. If that's not the case, like retroactively remove a few things that she said for party members involved. I was assuming something, and if that's not the correct assumption, just remove a few things.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Yeah. Cyril and
I
Galmar
wasn't
definitely
really
be away
listening
from
until the hiding the thing came up.
Mhm.
I'm still there technically. I never left.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Ania's like switched her tone slightly once people started to get involved in the conversation.
Okay.
And I'm more bringing up I can give you my cloak for the time being if hiding the way you look is the issue.
Oh, true. Her cloak should help you a lot.
And it's stealth helping. It helps with stealth, so
You'll
I
still be
appreciate that,
there.
Max. Hmm.
You'll still be there, but you'll blend into the background better.
Mhm.
And they'll just see you as some Dragonborn who's there.
and unless you draw the gun, they shouldn't see it.
Mhm. All right. I think that should work. Just like in book 8, where Dakota Ryder has to sneak into the bandit village.
Yeah, that's the thing he does.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then she'll lean in Dakota to try to keep this private. It's like,
If a moonbeam does happen, though, we're in trouble. Hide behind Cyril when it comes to that. Or just, get out of there.
Mhm. And try to keep a misty step handy.
Mm-hmm. And then she'll
After all
begin
that, I kind of step away, and then I want to get to know the Kenku better.
Okay. Yeah, as you step away, the Kenku is just like he's like looking up at you, like craning his head up because he's like half your size, and he's like, "Hi."
Hi. So what's so fascinating about me that you had to jump out of your astral plane to come see me?
Well, you're like me. You don't know who you are, kind of. Although I really don't know who I am. Do you know who you are?
Kind of sums it up.
Yeah. You notice this one looks younger than the one that you had just dealt with. Although only slightly.
You changed again.
I did? Wow.
You're younger now.
Oh my god. Wow. Neat. Who are you?
I wish I knew more to tell you. I lost a lot of my memories, so, well, all of my memories except for the memories I have with this group.
Whoa, same. I lost all mine. Or did I keep them? Or did I lock them away? Are they secrets? Oh my god. They could have vanished. Or they could be a story I tell in the future. Could be cool. He holds out a claw. He has like a three talon hand, basically.
Are you wanting to hold hands or something?
I wanted to shake your hand, but holding hands is kind of neat.
Oh. I shake his hand.
Hi, I'm... Hold on. I'll dig into it. It's somewhere. And then you see him like disappear. And then like somewhere behind him, like maybe like 10 or 20 feet, you see like this really tired version of him coming out. This boy is scarred to hell. There he has like a weird like bone claw coming out of one of his arms that's like attached to like a black stump, and it's like significantly larger than his other hand is. He has like scars all across his face and chest and stuff like that, and he's kind of walking forward, tired looking. He's like, Bill.
Bill?
Bill.
Nice to meet you, Bill. I'm Sapphire.
Too damn cheery.
You look like you've been through some shit.
Well, you could say that. He kind of reaches like into his bag. It's the same bag, by the way. That has not changed whatsoever. But you see him like reach into the same bag. It's almost the same size as he is. You've seen him like sleeping on it multiple times. But he reaches into it, he pulls out this like red flask of sorts, and like he then like takes like a sip of it, like a long sip of it. He's like, much better.
What's in that thing?
An outrageous quantity of alcohol. It would probably kill you. Well, it might not. You won't try?
Sure.
God, every time he hands the container to you.
I take a swig of it.
Roll me a Constitution save at disadvantage.
Disadvantage, okay.
Guess we're from Sapphire going with this.
I'm very, very curious on what you get on this roll.
Natural 20.
Good thing I have protection from poison still today. I still have it ready. I think. Let me check. Yep.
Are you dying? Let me just take away the poison real quick.
Actually, my lay on hands can do that. I can just clear a poison.
Yeah.
So it's just DADB, right? Or
What was that?
how do I put disadvantage?
Oh, disadvantage is that's a good question. I always forget specifically disadvantages one.
Just make the check twice and keep whichever result's lower.
Oh, and I got you. It is special this. Just .dis at the end.
Ooh.
Oof. All right, that's a 7.
Seven.
You take a swig of that. It legitimately feels like you just put kerosene into your stomach and then lit it on fire. It is the least pleasant alcohol you've ever drunk. How much experience do you have drinking, by the way, to the best of your knowledge?
I feel like I would have had a drink every time we were at a tavern.
Okay. So yeah, I would
don't know how
say
much that would
you would
be.
probably be, especially since you don't have too many memories of your past, based on, you say now usually ordering drink and stuff, you do drink semi-often, but usually for special occasions, I would say. You don't like crave or anything like that. So you don't drink anything especially like excessively hard. So this is like, a general ale would be like, oh, I'm kind of tipsy now. This is kind of nice. This is like getting punched in the jaw and losing several of your teeth in comparison. The moment you like take a swig of it, you just like, you get like shell shocked for a second from how hard this thing absolutely wrecks your system. Ania, you would see Sapphire just like, she makes a swigging motion with her hand, and then her entire body just like gets stun locked for a moment.
Nia looks over, is like, Sapphire, are you drinking the ghost alcohol?
I would assume, since it's one of those types of liquors that feels like it's sterilizing you from the inside out.
Mhm.
I would probably be like choking a little bit,
A little
or at
bit,
least
yeah.
coughing.
Yeah, you would definitely be coughing.
So I wouldn't respond right away.
you ask
But
her that, you just see her like start coughing excessively. Mhm.
But as soon as I stop, I would be like, just a twig.
Okay, don't drink too much before we have to go.
Nope, I want to be sharp. Or somewhat
Absolutely.
sharp.
And Ania does not question further.
Did we take alcohol with us, or
No, she's drinking ghost alcohol.
how?
Ghost in the blood.
A Kenku.
You as you're like talking, Sapphire, you are no longer able to see straight. Everything's just kind of like moving for you. You see this old tired Bill. He's just like staring. He's like, "Wow, surprised you're still standing."
Me too.
Me too.
The world is spinning.
Yeah. Don't worry, he'll pass. About a couple minutes, maybe less, or he might die. Killed me once.
You died?
Only a little.
How do you only die a little?
Well, I don't know, actually. I just remember I died once. Probably. It's been a while. Been a long time. I think. See him just have like a far off look in his eyes.
Thanks for the alcohol.
Yeah. Don't worry, I got a large supply, I guess. I don't know where it keeps coming from, but you know what? They keep giving it to me. I'll keep drinking. He puts it back into his thing. Ah. So what are you doing here?
Waiting for the party to move on to our next mission, I guess.
I remember those days. Actually, I don't, but I think I remember some of them. They were nice days, peaceful days. Kind of. And I remember one of them was kind of not so peaceful. And one of them tried shooting the other one.
Died or almost a little bit died.
Yeah, a few of them almost
so peaceful,
died.
I'm sure.
Well, one of them, I think, was in love with another one, kind of. I don't think she understood how. She almost shot him. Several times. And actually, she thinks she did shoot him once. She also took off his horn. It's got a nice time.
At this time is
So
walking
how long
over
do you
to.
plan on following me for?
Till you stop being interesting. And what was that, Neil?
And he is walking over to investigate how drunk Sapphire is.
Yeah, you could see like her body is like slowly kind of consuming it. Like the first one was like a gut punch, and now it's just like coursing through her. And even that small swig is like a fucking entire container of moonshine slowly working through her system. She is slowly going out. Till you stop being interested. Besides, you got whatever that is following you. Weird fae and all that. I don't know. Seemed interesting at the time, I think.
Something else is following me?
You got a lot of things on your shoulders. It's kind of weird. Kind of neat, kind of weird.
Interesting. Might be a while before I become less interesting. I don't know though.
Yeah, I got time. Probably. I don't know. Big guy moves on every now and again, but he's been in one place for a while. Gotta stay with him. Stick with it. Ain't quite my deal I made with him, but yeah. Deals change, sadly.
What kind of deal?
He shrugs. Don't quite remember that. It's been a while. Been a long, long time.
Don't make any ghost deals.
I won't.
Good. This is the most you've ever talked to anyone. It's just someone we can't see. Do you feel comfortable talking with them? And Neil sit down next to her.
Yeah, I guess I do. And it's not that I'm not comfortable talking to you guys. I'm just not sure what to say.
I get that, I think. I usually take the opposite approach where I just say things even if they may be taken badly. Because I don't know what to say sometimes too.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out who I am. So picking what to say is hard to figure out sometimes.
Is there anything we can do to help you with that?
I'm not really sure. I I don't really know how to go about finding out who I am or getting my memories back.
Well, you can always talk to us about it. I mean, we're doing a lot as it is. I'm sure we can find time to just chat with you. It seems like that would be the first step to me.
Yeah. I have a name. That's why I brought up Solstice
Solstice.
or Polaris. Soul something.
Solstice.
We can find them, I suppose, but sometimes when I have trouble figuring something out, just talking about it can help a lot. Because when you're talking about it, sometimes you can see things from a different perspective you didn't realize, even if it's just to yourself or to your ghost friend.
That's true. But I still don't have much to say other than I lost my memories. I don't know who took them. I don't know where they are. I don't know their name. This is the only name I have to go on.
Oh, there's actually a lot more we can talk about regarding that, though maybe another time. For example, though, I could ask you, and Neo holds up a finger, what is your first memory? Where were you when you gained your first memory? What location were you in? That's important.
That's a good point.
Yeah. It is a great point. But above game, I have not figured that out either.
You would have been, so if we look at the map, the Feywild crossing right here, you would have been just outside of it on the edge of the forest. That would have been your first memories, is kind of being at the edge of the forest and just kind of knowing that your goal is to find some kind of information. And beyond that, you know how to hunt, you know how to use your bow, obviously. Almost all of your muscle memory is about the same to what you would expect it to be. And you have your ranger skills and stuff.
Like, I would have shortly after that joined the guild.
Probably would have made your way to the Shadowstar Kingdom, and then that being a little bit too big and only adventurers were really allowed in there, probably would have made your way all the way up to the Haven or several of the towns between there, and then just started doing odd jobs until you were able to get into a venturing guild.
Okay. I tell her all that. I don't. Because I'm not going to
No.
try and remember everything you just said.
No worries.
Ania perks up noticeably and she's like, oh, isn't that really on the south part of the Elysian Forest continent? That's actually near the town Seabreeze, which we are going to go to eventually. When we get there, maybe we can take a stop at that forest, see if we can find more clues for you.
That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm. See? We already found one lead.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you need and she's like gestures like, do you maybe need I don't know. Are you drunk? Do you need help with that?
Nothing water and food can't fix.
Okay, because we are leaving today. I guess we can make a quick breakfast before we go.
Works for me.
Do you need
Okay.
psychiatric help? We don't have a therapist on hand.
I mean, probably I do hear laughter. And I see a kid too. I'm kind of crazy.
And he will go over to the they didn't really have a campfire too much because they were worried about the druids, but she'll work on something to get
We would
breakfast for
also have
everyone.
jerky or something from the hunts I did too, right?
Yeah.
And we got
So.
I think we got a refresh on our supplies from the Joes.
Yeah.
So Neil will whip up something.
Cool.
Best of her ability.
As the day continues a little bit, Sapphire, you do see like the bill kind of like changing again every now and again. But one thing remains consistent for like the next, I don't know, hour or two, and it's that every single iteration of him is on his bag, and they're all humming the same tune, and it's a bagpipe tune, a very slow and kind of methodic tune that just kind of eventually just kind of like fades into the background for you. But eventually, Cyril, Gelmar, and Rue, you all finish the training that you guys had. You guys come back. Ania has made something or another with whatever small equipment that she has. Yeah, everything kind of it tastes pretty good, you know. Ania's a good cook.
Druid food. We can have some maybe some porridge we got from the Joes, and you know, some meats that has been rehydrated, so it's a little bit more tender than jerky. And go. Maybe she made some tea.
Tea.
Or coffee. That would work too.
I don't think I have anything to make coffee. I have plenty of herbs for tea, though.
I was gonna say, where are you gonna get the beans?
We get like instant coffee packets from the Joes.
You're like, this is how you stay up in the morning. We have so much of it. Alright. Yeah, you guys are all kind of sitting around each other now. Food either in hand or in belly.
I'd like to assume I'd probably start humming along to that tune the Kenku is humming.
Yeah. You guys just hearing a very peaceful tune from Sapphire.
Okay.
I lean over towards Cyril. The Kenku gave her ghost alcohol.
Pauses for a minute and training with Gelmar probably takes like a broadside across the face for it. Oh, what?
The Kenku gave Sapphire ghost alcohol.
What on earth does that
I
even
don't
mean?
know. I don't know. I didn't realize the Kenku had a corporeal form that could hold alcohol.
I fear we have been idle for too long already. We should get ourselves packed, moving, and we should get our we should. We should shift focus, I think.
Ghost alcohol.
Like, I don't know how to deal with that problem. Let's just ignore it. Move on.
Is this a normal effect of the dust?
Normally, no.
I told you guys, I saw the Kenku before the dust.
That's right. That's right. This is. I think this is more a feature of the Feywild.
The Fey. What?
The Feywild.
I'm not familiar with that.
I should be, but I can't remember it, so I'm not familiar with it either.
All of the fairy tales you've ever heard, all. That's where they came from.
That's why I glow at night and why flowers grow in my hair every morning.
What a strange location. Seems like it would make a good story to visit one day.
I'm technically a fae.
He looks over confused again. How can you tell if you're in the Feywild if the people on both sides look similar?
No, I'm technically a Fey. I'm not from the Feywild though, so I think that makes me less Feyish.
I'm not certain if that gives you fewer or more questions.
If the stories are to be believed, the Feywild is almost a mirror of this world. But everything is just more of itself, more extreme versions. So it's,
Wild.
yeah.
What do you think the Haven looks like in there?
Oh, super colorful for sure.
I would imagine would be
Sunny.
probably sunny in some places and cloudy in others. If you think about it, the the outskirts is the poorest part. It would depend on so many things. But the inner sanctum would be constantly sunny with never a bad day's weather.
If you think of it like this, you can think of the Feywild, I guess, like a painting of our plane. And the painting is, instead of it being a one-to-one, it's impressionist and it draws things in metaphors.
Imperfect but
And
beautiful.
well, not so much that, but for example, in some paintings they will draw things a certain way to give a certain feel, like, oh, it'll be very sunny, or there is this one pinprick of light in the darkness to signify that this person is hope. And you can think of the Feywild, I guess, a little bit like that, how it everything becomes metaphors of themselves.
So everything is both physical and metaphorical at the same time?
Yeah, and changing, I believe.
He looks even more confused. What is this place?
Poor
It's-
Delmar.
I think another good description of it is that it is happily chaotic.
Oh, you know how sometimes when you dream, things just sort of make sense even though they don't make sense? Like you'll um think of it like it being like a dream where everything doesn't make sense, but it also makes sense at the same time.
Yes.
Complete with slight memory fabrication in order to make sense of the madness
Probably.
until the moment you wake up.
That's how the stories go.
Sounds interesting. I'd like to see it one day.
Think it is important that we I think it's important that we focus on moving camp and not remaining idle long enough for anyone to consume anything from a different plane of existence.
See, I see your point. Fair enough, fair enough. Let's get started on that then. He
And
says,
Well,
stretching his back as he starts trying to make his way back towards where we were camping.
do any of us have any clear idea of where we are going? I feel like Grimly said something about knowing.
I talked with Dakota about that. We're going to need to give our teleporter some sort of guidelines on where to put us. We can obviously just think of the tree, but we have to think more specific if we want to be safest. So inside of the tree, outside of the tree, by whatever is putting the tree in danger maybe could work. But we also don't know what's going to happen when we teleport. So I would err on the side of caution and try to go somewhere where there's not a lot of people.
What if? And I'm just spitballing. What if we focused on the people we're supposed to help? We could show up
But-
right next to them?
We could, but what happens to the people right next to us? We're probably safe, but we don't know if there's any, like, I don't know, what if the whole area gets blown up to make room for us? I don't know.
And what's to stop the teleporter from us being teleported on top of the people?
Like a certain distance away?
I mean, to be fair, it's only a couple of elves at this point, so
Aside from the physical nature, do we actually have any idea who these people are? Aside from their
The-
role to the elven capital and that they're probably elves, do we have enough information to know who to be able to make that teleport, even if we tried?
I know their names. I know a little bit about them, but I'd never really seen them.
they wouldn't have sent anyone important, right? I mean, they
Oh
would.
no, they sent super important people actually.
Sounds
Oh,
like suicide was something of uncertainty.
According to the information we've had, they sent the head of military and basically one of their, like, the descendant of the person who founded the library, who was the head
oh,
researcher. Those are really important, and I don't know what we can do that they haven't already been able to do. It's a little bit spooky, actually.
they may just have not sent enough people. Maybe they were simply overwhelmed.
No, that's a good point. They need backup.
Well, I think, and he looks to Dakota,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's up to you how we get there at this point. You and Nia seem to know that space better.
Not familiar with the actual area. So, in terms of that sort of thing, I think Ania might know more.
I've
But
never been to the tree itself. I just know about it. And
Mm.
judging by what we've heard from Dakota's patron, there is a space inside the tree that is presumably hollow.
Mhm.
And there's something going on there. But we also don't know where that is in the tree. If it's like underneath the ground, if it's like a hollow above the ground.
Hmm.
think it is a risk we are going to have to take unless we want to change the plan. No. Walking into the forest would make it worse.
Another long distance. I'd really like
Yes.
to take care of these situations as quickly as we can.
Mm.
Now, there's two main things we need to worry about. One, not appearing inside anything solid, in which we'd have to use the teleporter again to remove ourselves, which would ruin everything we're trying to do. And not hurting anything when we teleport in.
Mhm.
We have a means of pinpointing a specific location like that. My suggestion would be somewhere in front of the tree. At the very least, if anything goes wrong while in there in that regard, at the very least, we know that there's nothing behind us.
Well, I mean, there might be. We might appear right in the middle of a town or something. I don't know what's over
Dakota, you still
Mhm.
have a sending stone, right?
Yeah.
What if we asked Elysia for maybe some sort of unique markings on the tree?
Some sort of
Uh,
landmark we can specifically go to.
Right.
I could try to ask her that. That'll be complicated, and she'll probably be curious why. But she did seem
So
pretty
we know
urgent.
what we're looking for.
um, sounds good, I think. Uh, yeah, let me just get that out real quick. Reaches into his bag for the sending stone.
I probably should be the one to make the message.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Much better at staring at rocks than me. Hands it, to hand over the sending stone.
Nia will take it, and she'll go quiet for a bit as she considers messages again. So she's focusing.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Dakota's just the type to go way over the character limit on a Twitter post.
Gotta go real hardcore on that.
Gotta admit, the Knights never sent me on a mission this complicated before. Bounty.
Fair, fair.
I'm still not entirely certain about this knight person.
I'm not either, but he's the one who gave me the gun. I can't afford to lose it, or whatever else he uses.
Suppose I could understand that.
Nia will perk up. Say,
Okay, I have a potential message. I'm going to run it by all of you first and see what you think. It does imply we have some sort of magical means, but since it's urgent, she may not care. So it's able to get to tree today, need a significant landmark to use as a guide, also need a way to be present legally.
Interesting.
and she's not sending that yet. She's talking
Yeah.
to the others first.
Good an explanation as any.
I can't imagine she'd be able to send us anything in time.
She may be able to. I can add that I need a description specifically.
and then just focus on the first thing. Let me refine the message, and she'll go back to staring.
Dakota, does your knight have a name that means anything to anyone?
Not that he's ever told me.
Of
To be
course.
honest. To be honest, first time around, I thought his name was just the Knight. But he, I managed to find his dwelling, Shadowfell, right? Turns out he has a house, and, I think there was a picture in there of him with some other folks, so I assume he has a past.
That would make as much sense as anything else.
Mm-hmm. Has he ever told me anything more about his anything about him?
Not in the slightest.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Ania will chime in again.
Okay, how about this then? Able to get to tree today. Need a description of significant landmark to use as a magical guide. Also, way to prove authenticity.
Oh, that sounds good.
I think that will work.
And she'll look to Gelmar and Sapphire for additional okayness. Make sure everyone's happy.
I just don't see the difference between the two statements, but it sounds fine to me.
And she will go ahead and send it, and I will copy paste that for you. Oh, did Sapphire did you have anything to add?
I was just going to say, sounds good to me also.
Okay, cool.
Cool, cool.
Let me copy paste this for Sin, and she will send this to the ambassador.
Cool, cool. So you send that to the ambassador. It takes a weirdly long time, about 5-10 seconds or so for a reply, which slightly odd. But it takes a few seconds for a reply before you get landmark. Let's see, landmark significance. Zarathus. Ancient Grove. The big tree. Sea breeze. All significant. That's 10. Zarthus slagged city. And then for proof authenticity, I would say she would say tell any you see Moonblade in tree, they will let you pass.
Ania will seem slightly annoyed after she gets the response.
Well, she doesn't seem to understand the landmark thing, but we did get a way to prove authenticity. If we say Moonblade in tree, they say they'll let us pass. So we have a code phrase, which is good. The closest, she gave me names of like Seabreeze and Zarthus, the Slag City, but those are still really far away. We know that the tree is named Ancient Grove, so we can try to focus on that specifically.
Mm-hmm.
She seems very confused about the whole landmark thing. I mean, that makes sense. She doesn't know what we have, and I didn't know it existed before we got it.
Well, I think we're just going to have to gamble.
I'm
And you
afraid
will
I
give
didn't
the-
bring my dice today.
Oh, I have dice, I think.
I might need to steal one then.
Do you want one?
Yes, please. Sounds like I'm going to need one.
I think Ania has like a dice game. She has like all the potential games you can buy in
Like
the vanilla
every game
in her
on the
pack.
planet. So yeah,
Yeah,
you just
she
have
has
like a
every
couple extra
single-
dice on you of like all shapes and sizes, and you just like hand one.
Ania gives Gelmar
Oh
a
no, not those ones. Those are the loaded ones. Hold on.
Oh, hold on, these ones let me cheat. Here, try this one.
He
What's
still
a
doesn't
cheat
quite
with these
understand what's
ones.
going on. He just still doesn't quite understand what's going on, so he's requesting dice because he thinks that's what's going on because they're talking gambling.
What's a dash?
Oh my gosh.
she
Mm.
she gives Dakota like a D6 for him to play with for a while.
It's just kind of fidgeting with this. So what are
They're
the
throwing.
what are the numbers for? Throwing?
When-
Yeah.
When we get back to Haven, we'll go into one of the more seedy taverns in the outskirts. And that is a good place to learn how to lose all your money.
Why would
Oh,
I
I would
want to
love
do
to go
that?
there.
That sounds bad, sir.
Don't worry, we'll give you a budget.
Okay. He looks at the ground and he just tosses the dice at it. It's like, I don't understand.
And that casts the spell.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, just like imagine that dice is just like used as the material component for Cartomancer.
Hold on,
Uh,
let me do something real quick.
Mhm.
Aw, man.
Yeah, see what number it is.
Wow.
Not one on the D6.
Oh
wow,
no.
you're
Yuki,
unlucky even in games.
Yuki requires all of you to drink.
I don't have any alcohols on me.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm afraid I'm a bit far away from my cup.
We can ask the Kenku.
We can hang up on the Genku.
Again, I would very much be concerned about consuming anything from another plane.
I still got this. Just like pulls out the brass tankard that Cyril got him.
Well, I guess me and Dakota will have to hold on to the teleportation device to try and zero in on a place. So we're going to say Ancient Grove for sure and focus on that. Do we want to be inside or outside? I think outside is the safest.
I
Yes.
second that notion.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a plan of action. When do we want to go? Is there anything else we need to prepare?
I got my gun and I got a cowboy's coat. I don't think I need much else.
Oh,
I can't think of too much else we'd be able to use there.
Sapphire, can you give Dakota your cloak?
Oh, right.
Yes. And she hands Dakota the cloak.
I like the idea that Gelmar has no idea why Dakota would need a cloak. He's just completely out of the loop.
Yeah, he and Rue are probably definitely the only two people who don't know what's going on.
I'm so here for that.
Oh, cloak? Fashionable.
I'm gonna.
I understand that locations like that probably aren't exactly the most sanitary, but I don't understand why you need a full new cloak right now.
Good cowboys are very concerned for their hygiene.
There's gonna be a little bit.
It seems
There's
like
gonna
it
be a
bothered
little
you
bit of
before.
an edge.
What was that?
There's a little bit of an edge to my voice. I think there is someone there who might know Dakota in an unsavory way.
That's his face a
Face it
couple
like
times
that.
confused.
Just taps his face a couple times, confused, and is just like, oh. He can stay behind me.
Thank you, sir.
Honestly,
Glancing away as I pull cloak over me.
They probably won't pay too much attention to anyone who isn't an elf, or even at least part elf. Except maybe Cyril. They'll probably pay attention to Cyril too. Luckily, they're racist.
He gives her a confused look.
I don't understand how that's a boon.
No, they won't look at Dakota.
I would think if they hate us that much, he wouldn't be able to take their eyes off us.
Oh no.
They consider
will-
themselves above other species.
No offense, Sapphire.
Sounds like the most pathetic thing I've ever heard.
Eh.
Ain't
It gives them, they think, an excuse to act a certain way.
Is this why their reputations in the bucket?
Well, elves live a very long time, so they tend to view other species as sort of childlike in comparison. So they only really take other elves seriously because, well, they're not going to trust children with decisions.
Seems unintelligent.
They would see it differently.
Great ideas can come from any direction. I swear I've heard 2-year-olds making better decisions than their parents.
Trust me, they would sit there and disagree with you at length, more than vehement.
And probably give you many reasons why, all at once.
Oh, I gathered that much.
To
Just
put it,
just seems amazing that that sort of culture can last this long. No offense, he says, looking over towards Sapphire.
to put it mildly, do you remember when I called Elacia a young girl? Young lady? When I called her a child?
It's been over a month. I don't remember your word choice that perfectly.
Isn't everyone young to you, though?
Her and I are contemporaries. Me calling her a child is a massive insult.
Oh yeah, she hated that. That's why she only messages me.
Hey, unintelligent and petty. Just what we need.
Oh,
We best get this out of the way quickly.
Right. Sapphire, can you give us the tablet?
Yes. She hands it over.
As soon as we're confirmed to be in a safe, I guess, area, we'll hand it right back, and you need to hide it before they figure out that maybe that's what we used.
Okay.
Hopefully we won't be near a bunch of people, but we may appear near a bunch of people. Should we specify when we use it to maybe not be near anyone, just in case?
Probably best.
I think
That
so.
thing we could specify?
Well, we can try. And she'll walk over to Dakota and hold out the tablet, but she's going to hold on to one part of it.
He like hesitates a lot before he like really slowly just like holds like the tablet, assuming that's what Enya wants him to do.
She's trying to do it so they both have one hand on the tablet so they can focus on it together.
All right.
I don't think we all need to be touching each other, but just in case, I guess put hands on shoulders.
I'm assuming everyone kind of walks up and puts their hands on each other's shoulders.
He's not certain. Gelmar's not certain what else to do.
Yep.
With the exception of Cyril, because he's the tallest.
Syl just does a group hug.
He puts his hands on everyone else's heads.
Just another cast of protective wings to wrap around everyone again.
Yeah, very, very fair. So, are you? So, given the specific, oh my god, the specifics of what you're intending here.
Nia is going to tell out loud to Dakota what to focus on,
Mhm.
and she's going to basically be near Ancient Grove, not so near the Ancient Grove, but not next to any people.
Mhm.
And are you and Dakota both kind of doing the spell, or is it more like you're supporting Dakota, or Dakota supporting you?
Nia had no plan on like giving weight to either side. So I guess it depends on what Dakota's opinion is. Otherwise, it will default to both doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Dakota's probably going to support Ania just because Dakota assumes that Ania understands the spell better.
Fair enough. Okay. So Nia, you're specifically thinking about the ancient grove.
Is
You-
that the big tree that she sent? That's the name of the big tree, right?
Yes, that is the
Okay, good.
elder tree, basically.
Yes.
And you can think of it any particular way that you want to. I will say you've probably seen it a few times in your life, I would say. Just from general
pitch-
like pillaging, or not pillaging, but you know what I mean, general like times you have moved across, and especially moving past the Zathathus, is
pilgrimage.
pilgrimage, thank you, is a particularly large tree. Can be seen from most places in the Elysian Glade, at least from like roughly the distance of Sarshao Kingdom. It can also be seen from Gar Waste, but obviously like no one's over there. That from that distance that can be seen from like the shoreline. So you would have probably seen it at least a few times. With that in mind, roll me a D100 if you would.
Okay, and to offer more context, the image she's thinking of is trying to imagine the tree, and she's imagining a large, like, tree hollow on ground level,
Mhm.
and she's imagining being near that, like, but she doesn't know if that exists or not, but that's sort of the image she has in mind.
Okay.
So let me roll at D100, or let me find it. Ooh.
Oof.
No.
Oof.
Mm,
Oof.
mhm.
Does Dakota
Okay.
helping edit it at all?
I will say, Dakota, how familiar are you with this portion of the Elysian Glade?
Hold on, let me look at this map. The ancient grove. I figured that I spent a lot of time around like the forest because you
Mhm.
mentioned that I'd seen Zarathus before,
Yes,
and
you've been
if that's near
around
the ancient
Zathathus.
grove, I feel like there's a pretty good chance I could have seen the ancient grove before.
Okay.
Because if I was walking,
Yeah,
if
you
I was
you
trying
would
to
have
get as far
been.
away from the kingdom,
Mhm.
that's like on a path away. So I could have seen the ancient grove.
Yeah. How familiar are you with it? Is it like I kind of saw it while I was journeying, or like I went there, spent a week watching it, kind of a thing?
I think that I could have seen like Dakota like camping near her, like if it's a really good big tree.
Okay.
I don't know if they're
So
it's a big landmark.
is a
So-
particularly large landmark. Interestingly enough, you can actually feel the heat from Zarathus, very, very lightly near the ancient grove.
And that's a pretty good camping spot.
Yeah.
Like warm.
Pretty much. Where's a circle? Yes. You can pretty much feel the heat not super super heavy, pretty much within this entire circle. That it is hardcore, just blasted. So it's a particularly large area, but the yeah, you probably will have spent a little bit of time in there. So what I'm going to do is that's a low ass roll. We're going to go with this. Oof.
Damn.
Heck.
I told you we were gonna need that 15 at some point.
You know what? You were fair. Oof. Okay, so this is going to be a painful ride for you guys.
Oh no.
So few things. One, this is not technology, but this is magic that, technically speaking, at this current point in time, has never been fathomed before on this continent. 7th level magic doesn't exist. Period. No one has been able to accomplish it, with the possible exception of those who've never been able to show that they've accomplished it. So in theory, Star Whisperer, Seraphina, potentially could have made 7th level magic, but if she did, it was never shown to the world. Kind of stuff like that, where if it was shown, it was buried. So 7th level magic is not something that the world has ever truly seen. So as you're holding this tablet and you're like focusing on, this grove, Dakota is like thinking about like the time he spent near it. Different images start to pass through both of your guys' minds. The different trees that are around, the different spots and different areas that are around. And you guys then see waterfalls, you guys see giant lakes, you guys are, your minds are directly above the Star Shadow Kingdom. You can see the whole area. You are immediately above Zatharis, and you guys can see the slagged town, or the slag city, which is honestly more like a giant pile of obsidian than it is resembling a city. Moments later, your entire group is like in the air, like miles above the continent. You guys can actually see the full continent from way up high. You're not falling, but you are just you're in the sky, and you guys can see basically the zoomed out view of this entire continent. For just like probably for a couple of moments, long enough that you guys can recognize what you are looking at. Harmonious Haven is a blimp on the map in your vision. Is a wild experience. And then suddenly you guys are once again teleported, which is the worst feeling. And you guys land, you're not entirely sure where for a moment. You're in the forest, the Lycian Glade, that much is sure. But you guys land hard inside of this forest. You guys land so hard that you all take 3d10 damage.
God damn it.
I could die
Holy crud.
immediately.
Which will be 13 damage. Not the worst damage.
Wait, each of us? Oh, I thought
Hmm?
how we rolled individually.
I mean, you guys are welcome to. You know what?
I'll take the 13.
Good. That's
No,
a good
I'll
point.
just take the 13.
No.
I'll take the 13.
No, I'll take the
Thank
13.
you.
I'll take the 13.
Taking the 13.
I like your words, Magic Man.
I'll take the 13.
No, you know what? Fuck it. We ball.
Fuck it,
no.
we ball. You want ball? Oh God. All right. Well, cereals don't take 20.
Fuck it. We ball.
Anyone who wants to roll their dice, feel free to.
I'm
I'll take
good.
the 13.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna
55 health.
say, it's under 15, so chances are higher that if I roll, I'm gonna take more.
Very fair. All right. So Cyril's gonna take a lot more damage. You guys hit the ground with like agonizing speed. You guys are going like maybe 20 miles an hour, just like hitting the ground. You guys see for just a moment as you bounce off the ground. Cyril hits the ground significantly faster than you guys, and you see him fly into a tree, and his entire body like slams into it hard enough that it cracks the tree and pushes it over.
Sir?
Ania's gonna like, as soon as she knows that they're there, she's gonna let go and just fall over.
Yeah, you all hit the ground really hard. So like you and Dakota kind of holding the tablet, and by the time y'all stop moving, you're just like you just fall over onto the ground, just like ah. All of you are in a decent quantity of pain.
Looking forward to doing that one again.
Hide the tablet.
The tablet
Hide
seems
it.
perfectly fine, thankfully. That definitely seemed like there was like sparks of magic that you feel like shouldn't have been there when using it.
Is the alcohol still in my system? Would any of that be like gold?
That's a good point. So by the time you used it, like, you had gotten some food in you, you got some drink in you, you started to feel a little better. Once you saw the entire continent, you just kind of went, oh, I am drunk. And then when you hit the ground at like fucking 20 miles an hour, you're just like, man, the sky is spinning. You're not really feeling your battered body at this point for probably a very good reason.
All right. Did we get there? It's
I
the
don't
tree.
know.
Sure hope so.
Mm.
Everything.
Alright, who's not dead? Sound
I'm
off.
not.
Here.
Do I have any potions left?
Yeah, you would have probably made like one or two. I think you had like a bundle 4 or 5 herbs that you were able to make. So feel like
I
one
have
or two.
2, so I can.
Yeah,
I'll see.
Gilmore.
Yes.
Everything hurts.
See Rue kind of standing up, and in her usual cheery mood, she goes, "Wow, that was pretty fun."
I'm glad
I
it
just
was.
imagine her saying, "Let's do it again."
We will later.
My gold rune can only mend one of you.
It's okay. Save your resources, and he's gonna like reach up a hand and fix himself a little bit.
Yeah, the tree you hit, it's toppled. It was a good 30, 40 foot tall tree, and you fucking knocked that shit over like a fucking bowling pin.
Mm.
If we're near the tree, they know we're here.
And Ania's gonna like. Can she see like the tree through the canopy?
You are able
Are
to,
they
yes.
shadowed?
It
How
is
close are we?
based on what you can see from your positioning, which is very awkward at the moment. You would be where's a good measurement tool? You guys would be roughly in this location, which would
Well, that's
be
not too bad.
Yeah, you guys are kind of in the middle of the Whispering Woods, Feywild Crossing, Seabreeze, and Ancient Grove, while being slightly north. So you guys are somewhat close to Ancient Grove. Definitely not as close as you want to be, but in a lot of pain.
We could have been closer, but at least this way we won't scare anyone. And I don't know what this would have done to people near us if that tree did that.
Does look like you're completely alone, though. though you're not hearing any birds either, or any animals around you either. It's very, very, very quiet. That might be your head ringing.
Feel like we should expect to not be hearing anything after the entrance we just had.
Yeah.
True, but I still kind of want to do a perception check to look around the bushes or other sort of common hiding places. At the
Feel
very
free.
least from where I'm standing.
Ania's not bothering trying. She's just on the ground.
Pain coursing through your whole body. God fucking damn
I'm
it.
afraid you're just gonna have to live with my +5.
Yes.
Why does perception always get
my
the critical?
Yeah,
I swear to God, there's no other
until like
roll.
5 seconds after you said, "Gosh darn it!"
I swear there are no other fucking rolls that are as consistently critical as fucking perception. Oh, I have you guys. Oh, other rolls. Come on, fucking Foundry. Stop favoring the one. So you stand up. You are in a lot less pain than the rest of your crew because honestly you're kind of used to getting beaten and battered and thrown across the ground. So it's this is like an average Tuesday for you, albeit by a giant bear instead of, you know, sparring matches. So you stand up, brush yourself off, you know, kind of rest your sore aching muscles at this point. You look around. There is, from what you can see at least, nothing really around you. There, you know, there's the trees that you can see around you. But there's, I don't know how you would define it based on you, but it has an odd energy to it, I suppose. You can feel your restraints kind of off. They're not like super weird, but they are slightly off on you. As you like look around, you look at some of the trees, you do notice that like the trees aren't super duper healthy, at least from what you can tell. They're like slightly sagging, a few of them. The bushes don't seem to be as green. I mean, it's getting to fall, so you know that's the first thing that comes into your mind, is that maybe it's like transitioning. Maybe it was really hot. It was somewhat hot during the summer, but it usually doesn't affect a place with this much coverage. And I don't know, some of the trees, when like you push on them, they feel, what would be the word, soft. Like they don't feel like, you know, oh, I can sink into this, but they don't feel as hard as, you know, bark usually does. You kind of like push your thumb. Huh?
I think even to the idiot, it'll probably take this to not be just a transition period, because that's freaking weird.
Yeah. you're really struggling to think of like what this means, but like you're noticing all of this. Like you put your hand against a tree, and like your thumb indents the bark, which is one of the things that like even someone with you know average intelligence, that's fucking weird. You're strong, but that's weird.
Whatever's going on here. I suspect we need to be making a move on, he says. I'm just going to look around for whichever tree is the biggest, because I assume that's where we're going.
Oh yeah, as you look around, like the ancient grove tree is leagues larger than most of the other trees around you. Even like the largest tree that you can see in the distance only comes up like halfway up the ancient grove tree. So yeah, looking around, that's like the immediate tree that you see. Also looking around, you see most of your party is laying down, clenching most of their sides or probably bruised body parts.
I'm trying to get things back in place with my shape shifting. Just like getting those muscle knots back. Yeah.
Right, he's
I feel
actively
I'd
trying to
already up
shapeshift now.
not feeling any of the pain yet.
Yeah, Dakota, you can like you see like one Dakota's like his arm is just kind of like weirdly like bent. He just kind of like you see his like arm shifting back into place in the most disturbing way that you think you've ever seen someone pseudo put back their joints.
Ania downs one of her potions.
Doesn't look
So-
good, he says, Gelmar says, stepping up to Dakota. Would you like
Yes.
some somehow? Would you like the rune? He says, as pulling his out.
What? Which rune? What?
You would recognize the gold rune as the one he's always used to heal injuries. It's never particularly been strong, but
So Cyril reaches out. Oh,
Oh wait, I don't need to roll. I forgot because it's so I get full anyway.
There you go.
so Cyril reaches out to like stop
Oh, are you stopping
everybody from doing what they're doing.
Mm.
Perhaps we should just take a little bit and catch our breath. Just rest a moment and recuperate, and then continue on.
How long is a short rest?
An hour.
it's an hour.
And
then,
then,
yeah, we'll
real quick,
look
Sapphire,
around.
you were trying to say something earlier, and I don't recall what it was.
I said I would probably just be getting up since I don't really feel much of the pain
Fair.
at the moment.
Okay.
You're just walking on.
It's like, man, I feel like 1,000 pillows.
Or just like looks back towards the tree with a very hugely visible thumb hole going through it.
Mhm.
I don't think it's a good idea to rest for long if we need to.
And
Fair
if,
enough.
but if we need some of these resources in a pinch,
Mhm.
I
and
see your point.
What's wrong? Mania hasn't like seen what Gelmard's found yet. She's not even trying to do perception checks. She's like, "What's wrong?"
Well, I'm pretty sure a bare thumb isn't supposed to go that far into a tree. He's shrunk, he says, thumbing back towards the huge hole in the side that probably looks like it was chiseled by a squirrel or something.
Mhm.
What? And Ania like slowly like uses her staff to push herself up to her feet and limp over to investigate the tree.
Yeah, you're probably the one in the most pain in the party.
Breathing hurts.
But you walk over to the tree and but you come over to the tree and you like look at it, and yeah, he put a solid thumb into the tree and like, you know, rubbing the bark and stuff like that. It's not spongy soft. There's still like a lot of firmness to it, and it's still pretty hard to the touch, but it's shockingly soft for tree bark.
Can I do a nature check?
Absolutely. Nice.
Nice.
You can tell, like, in a really weird way, the trees are, the best way you can describe it is that they're kind of sick. You know, you're like looking at it, it's not healthy. You're not entirely sure how to define it not being healthy, but it's definitely not normal. Looking around the area, you see similar things that Gelmore does, but kind of with more knowledge to it. The bushes are kind of the same. They're like dreary. They're like leaning over. A lot of it is like sad almost, and possibly it's nutrient not getting, but a lot of them are green still. So that'd be kind of weird. They're getting enough nutrients to keep their color, but you know, still not existing properly. The ground
smell
now
anything?
not really, more than most, you know, the tree smells and stuff. It just smells, you know, like trees. The ground under you is a little bit softer than you expected. It is still dirt, but like you're you know, it took you a minute to notice from the pain, but yeah, when you step
feel
on
soft on landing.
it certainly did not. But like walking on it, it's like you had a moment of like unstableness walking to the tree. You thought it was just pain, but it's the ground. You're not used to walking on ground that's not, you know, firm. It has a slight
Okay.
amount of give to it.
Now Ania would like to do perception for animals or animal tracks.
Okay, feel free.
And she may actually ask Sapphire, like,
Can you spot any animal activity in the area?
And I will
She'll roll.
have that be either a nature or survival check or perception check, whichever one is highest. Because I'm not sure what the highest of yours is, Sapphire, at the moment.
Perception and survival are both the same, but they're the highest.
Okay, in
Either
that
way.
case, I would suggest rolling survival if you're looking for tracks and stuff.
Hmm.
I'm very curious. Oh, unnatural 20. All right. So unnatural 20 and a 16. As you're looking around at everything, and Sapphire, you have hunted in forests for what feels like probably most of your life based on your skills. Finding tracks is not difficult for you. You've hunted elk, you've hunted, you think you've hunted wolves, you've hunted bears, you've hunted all kinds of things. For one reason or another, possibly trophies, possibly food, you're not quite sure, but you've hunted things for a long time. You are finding no animal tracks anywhere near you. The quite a distance away, probably like, a couple minutes, like you walk a couple minutes and stuff like that. You walk over to, an area a little bit further away, and there's some tracks, but really not a lot. And those that are there, some of them are limping. Some of them are like, it does not seem like they're healthy almost. It seems like they're having a lot of difficulties. Ania, you're getting very similar readings kind of from the area. A place like this should be having a flourished wildlife. Rabbits and foxes, all kinds of small ones, but also birds. Birds are incredibly important to most ecosystems, and you are not hearing any of them. You're not seeing bird nests. You are not seeing any birds or the ground around you aside from your demolition zone. There's no like really broken twigs. There's no evidence that creatures have been bounding on the trees, breaking the limbs, all the normal stuff you would expect from most forests.
I don't know if this actually makes this place sort of safe to stay in, but I don't sense many animals around, and even the soil here seems sort of odd. I don't like.
Whatever animals are here, they're limping.
That's not good. I don't think staying here for an hour will affect us too bad, but if we start feeling bad, we should probably move. But maybe it's like this all the way. This is near the grove. It shouldn't be like this. I don't think. I don't know where we are on the map. I just know we can see the tree there.
Can I orient myself in relative position to the tree, like knowing if I'm north, south, east, west of it with the sun?
Yeah. So based on your general knowledge of, because you're a woods person, you and especially as a stars druid, you've done this thousands of times. Based on what you can see, the grove is to your north, so you are definitely to the south of Starshout Kingdom, which means y'all went a far distance. 1 square is 10 miles, so y'all went roughly. Oops. Okay, wait on. There we go. I don't see a number. Like 360 miles. Or sorry, 3,000 miles, I think. Is that right? Did I do that right? Every square is a mile, or is 10 miles. So 555 feet. Every foot is 5 feet.
Yeah. If every square is 10 miles
Or
and
300. Yeah, it's about 360 feet, so that'd be 360 divided by 5. Oops. So that's 72, so that's 720 miles you just teleported.
Do I know
Wow.
anything about the Whispering Woods? Also, go ahead.
Oh, is that to go?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys quite literally just went half the continent to the south. To the best of your knowledge, the Whispering Woods is regarded more as a fairy tale than it is an actual place. What kind of crazy ass math was that? My math. But the Whispering Woods is it's said to be a place where ghosts and ghouls hang out the most often, a place between the world of the living and the world of the dead. A place that like kind of encourages in adventurers to lay down and pass on more or less. It's also one of the reasons why elves tend to restrict the southern regions of the glade. Most things down here are more fairy tales or spook adventures or anything like that. Anyway, the elves can really funnel ways to make it so people avoid it, and that's just one of the places that you assume they did.
We are south of the tree, which is amazing, which means we teleported on the other side. But the closest thing to the south of the tree is the Whispering Woods. I don't know if this is normal, if this is where we are right now. But if it is the Whispering Woods, we should not stay here, actually.
even for just an hour?
No. People go here to die. The woods encourages them to pass on. According to fairy tales, anyway.
That's
Uh,
bleak.
Does Dakota know anything about the Whispering Woods?
Not particularly. There's rumored to be a town that's inside of there. But beyond that, like all of it is just like minor rumors. Some say there's crazy ghouls that will eat you up in there. Other ones is like ghost stories. Some say there's hags that live in the Whispering Woods and they feed upon children, stuff like that. But most of it's just folklore.
Hmm.
And of course, the elves don't do anything to argue.
It's possible it's not the Whispering Woods, and this is just some sort of effect that whatever's going on at the Grove is affecting here.
That's what I'm
Um,
thinking.
But if you want to take that
That's
50-50
it,
chance,
I feel like whatever's going on here might not actually be the Whispering Woods, because nothing about the stories say anything about it killing the plants, right?
Do you want me to roll like a history check, maybe?
Yeah, both you and Cyril roll a history check. You two would have the most knowledge on general
Sure.
folklore and stuff like that. It's the shouting ones that are a problem.
Nice.
Hey, dirty 20. Okay. Cyril?
Well,
Roll me a history check real quick.
history check. Hold on, I gotta. Oh, come on. Sometimes it just doesn't want to let me hit the buttons on things.
No worries.
I gotta close it. I gotta go back in.
Gotta make Foundry work. Gotta make it work.
Crash, crash, crash.
See, this is what Foundry's trying to do. It's trying to crash.
It's struggling, but I'm better than it.
Okay.
Not too bad. Okay. So of course your memory is once again just not where you would want it to be. You've heard folk tales over the years, but it's been many years and many folk tales. So honestly, all of your information conflicts with itself to some degree. Ania, to the best of your knowledge, all the stories of the Whispering Woods are contained to that area. It's been around for more years than you can probably count. You can't even remember, like the earliest statements of the Whispering Woods. You've never seen like every book that you found an older book that talks about it. So it's probably been around for a very long time. So if that was the case, it probably isn't affecting the world, because if it was, it probably would for the last 400, 500 some years, and that probably would have been something they would have dealt with.
Do I remember anything about a color? Because like the term Whispering Woods brings to mind like gray trees, not green.
Usually has, at least from folklore, a significant quantity of fog that kind of lays down across the entire area, making most things seem almost in a monotone form of color. So grayscale and stuff like that. But around the Whispering Woods, there's no statements of changing color or anything like that. Hi, Rue.
Rue!
Let me get you the
Rue!
notes.
Mhm.
The notes.
Hi.
Hi.
She's here.
Oh god. Oh no. Should I leave?
No, I'm gonna send you the notes. I'm gonna send you the
Stay.
notes.
We appreciate you.
Let
We missed
me-
you.
Oh,
Quick,
glad
roll
to-
initiative.
I'm not even on there yet, bro. What's going on?
There's no combat
There you
yet.
go, Rue. There's some notes. It's sort of scattered. Hopefully it helps you catch up real quick.
Thank you, thank you.
No worries.
And there's no fog here, right?
There is not, no.
Okay, Ania's gonna look around and she's like getting some of her senses back after the shock of pain is wearing off. So, well, I heard the Whispering Woods is usually really foggy. Doesn't look like it is. Maybe it would be safe to just rest. It might not be the Whispering Woods. Now it's like instead of a half-half chance, it's like a 75-25% chance now.
I'm not going to lie. I like those odds compared to just going off half broken into
Ania
what we
sits down.
know is a combat zone.
Nia sits down. She seems to agree.
I've broken.
To the best of your guys' knowledge, it's probably a 2 or 3 day travel from where you are to the Ancient Grove, which is significantly better than the near month that was. But yeah,
fair.
still semi-distance away. At least from what you can tell from the tree. It's really hard to orient yourselves without proper sight.
I told her we would be there today. Maybe I should send her another message. Although, I don't know. I already sent 3 today.
She'll be fine.
I guess she'll contact me if she needs to. So, are we resting for an hour before we start walking?
I think that is what the idea is.
You guys insist. I just don't want to, get crept on by shadows or some.
Ghosts and
If we-
ghouls.
If
I'll
things
keep
start to go
watch.
bad, we can keep going.
I was gonna say, if I could climb up on the tree, I could keep watch.
Oh yeah. It's a little bit difficult for you to climb onto it. You're more used to climbing onto trees that like have really, really firm bark, especially inside these woods. So almost a soft texture is not pleasant to climb, but getting onto like the branches and stuff is not particularly difficult for you. It takes you probably just a minute or two longer than it normally would, but you have a pretty good vantage spot of the entire group.
I just keep out for any shadows, as Dakota puts it.
Very, 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 very. All right.
Mhm.
I'm gonna use this hour to do two things.
Okay.
I'm gonna first use all my hit dice
Oh,
for. Well, I'm gonna use
Mhm.
all of the D4s I have available and have no more hit dice available for the day
Okay.
for exertion points.
Nice. 20 is pretty good.
And then, because it turns out that it's going to be a distance for a few days,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to summon the.
Elk.
Going to summon the elk.
That will actually drastically cut y'all's times down.
Ooh, I actually have conjure woodland beings, so let me go look at that. See if I can conjure any also elks or things like that.
Because yeah, it's about 90 miles, and I assume that y'all can get, especially on decent day, like 20, 25 miles a day, just like pounding forwards on foot. Especially considering most of y'all are fairly exercise heavy, and those who aren't, you can just be carried. Y'all small enough. But on an elk, yeah, you guys could probably cut that time in half, like a day and a half, probably. Like the elk and woodland beasts and everything like that.
Well, we have the elk, we have Dakotas. I don't know if I can summon anything writable, but Nia can turn into creatures.
That's true.
I also have a Song of Rest, if we want to use that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Ooh, what's
Oh?
that? Oh, yeah, you took
Ooh,
a
that
little
bard
few-
ability.
Yeah, what's that?
It gives you
Just
that.
getting snapped with Sapphire.
You're fine.
To answer your question, it increases the amount of health you restore on a short rest.
Oh, that sounds
Ah.
great.
Yeah, extra 1d6 hit points.
I mean, yeah, sounds right.
But yeah. God,
I'm
I
just
forgot you
gonna-
have so much health, Sapphire.
I'm gonna use 2 of my hit dice. That paired with the 1d6 should get me pretty close to a full health bar. If it doesn't, then do it completely.
Yeah. Your long rest will definitely be able to do it too. Assuming you guys take long rests.
I mean,
We
I
took a
assume
short
we're doing that
rest.
all along the
Mhm.
way.
I would hope so, because
2 days of
going
rest.
in with just one exhaustion would be bad.
Very fair.
Yeah, I get all my health back.
Nice. All right. So yeah, you can summon the elk. That will probably hold roughly 2, 3 of you if you really compress it. And the elk is strong enough to hold you. It's just space-wise. Of course, the Nia can transform into a creature as well. So one of y'all would be needing something else too. Let's see.
Well, Dakota has his horse.
Oh yeah.
How
hard
long
to
does Dakota's horse last? Is it just like the
Let me see.
1 hour, roughly.
Yeah.
I can summon a giant lynx.
Oh,
That'd probably be better than Dakota's horse, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't know how long it lasts. Let me see. Lasts an hour. How long does the elk last?
An hour.
Okay, I
No,
think
the-
Ania's...
Oh, the elk is permanent, I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
Ania's transformation lasts longer than her summoning. So let me go look at that again. Wild
It's-
shape.
forever.
Forever.
Yeah, the elk stays until Cyril dismisses it. Dakota's steed lasts 1 hour.
And let's see. Number hour equal to half your druid level. So Ania can stay transformed for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Since Ania has seen the elk, can she just transform into the elk? Does that
Technically, yeah.
count? No, cool. 2 elks.
It's not exactly the same because you're not entirely
Mhm.
sure how to make like, bark skin, but
It's
it
an
is
Irish elk.
more or less identical.
Cool.
Mhm.
That's good.
Okay.
Because she has seen it a lot.
So if you do your elk form, you guys can pretty much all, you can carry everyone, including Cyril's elk as well. So yeah, you guys rest for about an hour or so, kind of collect yourselves. I'm certain that Rue and Galmar are just exercising some more, keeping
Oh, yeah.
yourselves ready.
Before we do go, I have to mention the deal with Grimley.
Mhm.
So
Oh.
she's transforming into something. She's using wild shape.
Mm.
She does like the idea of the elk because it is attached. It is one of
Mhm.
Cyril's creatures. She thinks it's pretty. She likes it. And her dread of the incoming thing has grown
Mhm.
over time.
Okay.
And she doesn't know when it's going to happen.
Yep. You
And, like, her-
start to
yeah.
shift into it, and you're able to.
Her dread grows.
It's like there's like a split second where you're like, is it gonna work? And then it works, and like, fuck.
Her dread has gotten worse, but okay, so she'll be able to do that.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys are
Like
able to
waiting
cut
in a
your.
long line at a.
Hmm?
It's like waiting in a long line at a roller coaster.
Yeah. Very unpleasant to think about. But you guys have a fairly decent amount of time. You're able to cut down fairly well. So instead of the 3-day journey that you guys expected, it's roughly going to be about a day and a half. So you guys can make it within, you're almost certain that you can make it within like camping distance of the tree by the time that y'all like really rest, especially if you guys push yourselves. And then you guys can rest outside, camping wise, and more or less get back to full if you guys like
And
to.
Ania can actually be the elk for 8 hours because she can use it twice.
Nice.
Everybody is only just hurt a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Like the 13 damage and stuff.
Just
Yeah.
a wee
Your
little
little bit is half for me.
Oh,
Yeah, Ania's health bar, it got punched.
oh,
So did Dakota's.
Yeah.
Ania was
little
in
bit.
like full Yamcha position.
I
oh.
also did the Song of Rest, so that would have
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys
Take care.
are
helped a little.
able to get back up.
Okay, because we're not resting, right? We're gonna truck on
Um,
through.
Yeah,
We
you
did a
rest
short
for an
rest.
hour, and then you guys are pretty much just booking it. To the
And
best
then
of my
we're
knowledge.
long resting before the tree.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys, especially with Sapphire's song, being able to push yourselves that far is not easy, but it's definitely, you guys have done some similar stuff beforehand, and especially with how disconcerting the forest is, it's kind of pushing you forwards. But yeah, so you all are welcome to take a long rest right now. So you guys are heading on your way to the Ancient Grove, and you guys are really just beaming your way there. You guys are just straight forwards, not really stopping. It's kind of hard to talk to each other to a degree when you're like this hardcore focused on just like running. Some of those who are on the elks, which is everyone but I think like Ania and Cyril, you're kind of piloting the elk, I suppose. But everyone else, you're able to talk to each other if you would like. You guys are bouncing quite a bit because the odd road. But you're more than welcome to talk amongst yourselves if you like. As the time goes on and the day starts to fall, and would you guys be running through the night? You guys probably got here maybe like 2 or 3 p.m. So if you guys like push really, really far, you guys would be going through the night and then taking a long rest during the day outside of the Ancient Grove. Or you guys can like take a long rest sometime during the night and then get to the Ancient Grove after a couple hours of running or using the elk and stuff, and then just kind of continue. Depends on if you want to be during the night or during the day when you hit the Ancient Grove.
It'll be faster if we take the long rest at night. But I don't going at
Will
night.
there be
But then we'd
moon?
have to,
Like,
but then we'd have to
Will there
rest
be
directly
moon?
in front of the dungeon.
Yeah.
will there be moonlight?
There will most likely be moonlight, yes.
What do we think about it? Me being a light bulb, essentially,
Well, we're not going to be
at night if we
stealthing
show
anyway.
up at night.
Yeah.
Hoda wants to stealth.
Yeah,
Mia
like
thinks it's
I
a
mean,
bad
like if we
idea.
showed up at the glade, glade. Am I? It's not
Yeah,
the glade.
glade.
What am I saying?
Grove.
Glade. When it's dark and there's moonlight, is that gonna be a good thing for us? Because I am a literal light.
I think you sparkle it. Do you glow?
Think
It's kind of a mixture. Like the way that especially if she gets hit by direct moonlight, it bounces off her skin, kind of almost like a disco ball. So it's
Oh my goodness.
yeah, it's very
Yeah.
reflective off of her
Oh.
skin.
Oh,
Yeah, so
you're so pretty.
we might want to push through the night and do it during the day.
Mm.
Wow, let's do it. That sounds fun.
Fair enough.
All right.
Yeah.
sounds like we got a plan.
All right, cool.
Hmm.
So you guys push onwards. Most of the night passes, but then you guys take a long rest. Probably 8 o'clock in the morning or so. Just or like getting as close as you guys can without it stopping being night, more or less. And you guys sleep for a while. Actually, no, sorry, I'm thinking of my nighttime, daytime. That would be afternoon. You guys would be pushing on until about, I think 3 o'clock in the morning is a good nighttime. Trying to translate this for actual daytime people is really hard, apparently. But you go
Us
until
daywalkers, you know.
I know, right? But you go until about 3 a.m. or so, and it's like dead in the night at this point. You guys take a long rest, and then you guys push onwards, which would be 11, and then push on another couple of hours. So it'd be about 1 or 2, again, as you guys get to the Grove. This day would be, I'll have to actually mark down how many days it's been. You guys started on the day 5. This episode on day 5. And then you guys took another day to do that, so this would be day 6. Yeah. So you guys are on day 6 of autumn at the moment. I never thought that would actually be
You said
important
it would
to
take
check.
a day and a half.
Oh yeah, you're right. I did say a day and a half. So
It'd
Yeah.
be halfway into the 7th day.
okay, thank you.
Are we
Great.
on the timeline?
I do have a timeline.
Oh no.
There's no current immediate deaths on the timeline, but I do have a timeline. I'm keeping track of it, partially because I have the sister campaign, but also partially because your rune, your teleporter is dependent on time. So I'm keeping track of it.
Oh.
But so you guys are about into
I-
day 7.
Countdown clock.
Yeah, Doomsday Countdown Clock. But you guys are into day 7, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You guys have been running for a couple of hours, or on the elk for a couple of hours or so. So it's not, you guys aren't like tippity top to tip top, but you guys aren't like all your stuff, all your health is there, all your spell slots is there and stuff. You're just a little bit tired from the time, especially in Nia, considering you're running the whole distance. But during this point in time, from when you guys, landed painfully all the way to now, the closer you guys have gotten to the ancient grove, the odder things have gotten. Some of the bushes have just straight up, like, kind of rotted, wilted almost. Some of them, like, some of the wood that you guys have, like, gone past, if you guys, took a moment to like look at it before moving on, like it's rotting on the outside, even though it's semi-healthy on the inside, which is super weird. The closer you guys get, the weirder this gets. Some of it is like the outside is, I suppose, clean and careful, but digging in even just a little bit, it's like leaking out black juice because the inside is rotten. The bushes, the leaves, some of them are good, some of them are bad, and the closer you guys get, the weirder it gets. One tree you guys found, literally almost in a perfect split, half of it was rotten completely, and the other half was almost in pristine condition. And it just keeps getting weirder and weirder as you guys get closer and closer. And as you guys actually get to the ancient grove itself and you look up at this monstrosity of a tree, this thing is easily over a mile, maybe 2 miles in terms of height, is huge, is so expansive that it's hard to see, both edges of the tree's trunk on, left and right, and just looking at the tree trunk. It is so massive, it is legitimately hard for you guys to contemplate looking at how big this thing is as you guys are looking at the tree. The ground around it has definitely gotten a lot softer. Some of it seems like it's soft dirt, some of it is practically feeling more like, sand, or even like just like maybe non-compacted like dirt. It's very, very weird. Some of it almost feels like softened clay. Super, super weird ground feeling. But you guys do see the trunk of the tree, and you guys do see almost like a doorway cut into the tree near the base. It's a regular sized doorway, so it is or door arc, I suppose. So not like for giants or anything like that, but it is cut into the tree. There are no doors or anything. It's just an arc.
That's suspicious.
Well,
That's weird.
well, don't see anywhere else that they could have gone.
Ania's going to like set everyone down and transform back.
Mm-hmm.
Did she only need to use one use of
Yeah.
Okay. And she looks visibly like upset about the state of things.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone outside the tree?
No. In fact, you haven't seen anyone or heard anything in the entire day and a half or so that you guys have been running. No real animal tracks, no elven people who have come by. Pretty much nothing. It has been, at least nature-wise, absolute silence the entire time you guys have been running.
Ania is going to like run a little ahead of the party. She's like a little bit panicked. Anyone can like stop her if they want, but she's like looking around, approaching the doorway.
Don't get too close alone. I don't exactly suspect that whatever is in there is exactly friendly, if it's what caused the disappearance of the elven aides.
I go with her.
Okay.
Nothing should be affecting the tree this significantly. I know we're stopping something that's going on, but seeing it and the surrounding forest like this is bad.
What did we get ourselves into? This is definitely not normal.
I think we passed not normal a long time ago.
I think we passed normal before we even used that teleport spell.
Do you
Nothing
run
on
up
side
to
of
the tree,
has been
Ania?
Normal.
She's like, I would say halfway between the party and the tree along with Sapphire. She
Okay.
does seem to want to approach the tree more, but because the party's behind her, she hasn't quite gone right up to it yet.
Okay. Are you guys gonna be following her?
Yep.
Yes, definitely. I'm probably
Yeah.
trying to catch up with her.
Same.
The party does not keep pace with you aside from Sapphire. They are a little bit slower than you, mostly because you are panicked. but they relatively keep pace with you, and you very quickly are able to reach the bark of the tree if you'd like to.
Absolutely do, and she does try to touch it.
Okay, give me a nature check at advantage.
At advantage. Nature. Advantage.
Wow. Hey, finally a non-fucking perception D20 natural 20. That shit's more rare than natural 20 at this point. You touch this tree. The rest of the party, you see her like come up to this tree, and I can guarantee you she would start crying. As you touch this tree, Ania, your connection with nature is extremely deep, especially with, you know, your connection to the stars and everything like that. You are very, very well connected to most of the feelings of nature, especially being a druid. You are practically part of the forest to a degree, a little bit disconnected, of course, but that is where your, for lack of better terms, your soul lies, is within nature, within the forest, within the trees, within the very spiritual being of nature itself. With that in mind, as you touch this tree and you are connecting to it, you know, you're feeling the energies, as I had mentioned earlier, especially druids. I believe on previous episode I'd mentioned that especially druids, but a few other classes, you guys can see to a degree something similar to aura. You can quite literally see kind of life force flowing through people. The same goes for a lot of nature. It's how you're able to commune with nature to a degree, is you're quite literally able to see the mana in creatures, within plants, within flora and fauna. And as you touch this tree and you see the mana flowing through it and you connect to it, I don't know how you would react exactly, but your entire being is wrecked with one single word, which is not something you normally get from nature or from anything like that. It normally does not commune to you quite this exactly, but the one word that you get is help.
Ania, the party can see, like, sort of falls to her knees, her hand still on the tree, and places her forehead against it. And briefly, her form, like, seems to change shape, but she has her cloak on. Not change shape, but change size. So she, like, gets taller, then shorter again. And it's very quick.
Mhm.
And she just starts crying from where she is. It does settle down, her shapeshift.
Mhm. I would say, I would also say that Sapphire, especially you being a ranger, although not, you're a Fey Wander ranger, so you're not quite as connected to this plane's nature, but you can definitely feel just the nature, like the magic in the area is vehemently wrong, but familiar at the same time.
I put a hand on Ania's shoulder
Mhm.
to comfort her.
And Rue, you were saying something?
Yeah, she'll gonna go up and she's like, "What did the tree say to you?" Is it mean?
It's asking for help.
Oh. What can we do?
You need to find whatever's hurting it.
If it was anything like back at Stomere, I'd imagine we should be able to slowly move it back to the way it was. By first clearing away that's corrupting it. And I have a suspicion that we know who that is.
There should be druids here. I assume there would be druids here. Are they inside?
Or worse.
There's only one way to find out for certain what's going on here.
Get this god's darned job done.
Ania starts to try to get to her feet.
You're a little bit wobbly, especially on the uneven ground, but you are able to get to your feet to a degree.
Does the
Sapphire
entrance-
helps too.
Thank you. And Ania will take the help, though she normally wouldn't.
Okay.
You said there's an entrance that looks cut in. Is that recent looking? Is it very unnatural looking?
From what you can tell, it looks like it. You can't quite tell exactly how long ago it was made. It definitely isn't a natural thing. It definitely was cut into, but it's definitely not recent. You would probably say years ago, but you're not quite sure how many.
Ania will sort of start to go towards the entrance.
Cyril puts a hand out. Whatever's in there, the person on point should not be the one built like a charred twig.
Ania will gesture in front of her. Well, then hurry up.
Hoda's gonna be walking into the tree.
You're worse than her. Cyril picks him up like a cat.
Go down there,
I got-
cowboy.
I got a
Say
long
horse
reach.
that's charging after him.
I got a long reach. I grab him by the hood and I drag him back like a small child.
Doing this
No.
together.
You know what a good way to die is?
What?
Rushing in.
Gotta get the bounty finished, sir.
Yes.
Is that what you're
yes.
concerned with?
Your dead body will do a great job at it.
Mm.
Is that what you're concerned with? Your fucking bounty?
Uh, it's not just the volunteer behind this. It's who knows what at stake, but it's also my life on the line.
Right.
Great.
It
Great.
is. So we should go in there. We should go in there and learn from my own mistake at my impulsiveness back in Stilmere.
Okay, so are you leading? Are we here to plan? What's going on?
A moment, I need to think.
The staircase looks like it's wide enough for roughly 2 people to go down it at a time.
They're going to set up a trap.
And Nia starts
Chances
to
are pretty
pace.
good.
Hmm?
Okay. Gelmar, how about you and I take point?
Even if that wasn't your suggestion, if it wasn't your suggestion, it would have been mine.
You and I take point.
I'll take the back.
What was that new?
I can talk to the tree, maybe get some guidance. I don't know if I can handle talking to them. I can try. But I don't think it'll be able to help in the state it's in. It needs to conserve its energy just to stay alive and keep everything else in the area alive.
Okay. We know how we're going in. Gelmar and I are taking Vanguard. Rue, you're volunteering for rear guard. Ania, Dakota, and Sapphire The three of you have the best eyesight out of the three of us, out of the 6 of us. Keep your eyes open. Do as best as you can to make sure that we aren't surprised. Ready?
Mhm.
All right.
Immediately, Gilmar says, getting practically shoulder to shoulder with Cyril.
Considering his size, it is not the most pleasant pressing. It's made for generally 2 decently sized people, but Cyril definitely takes up a lot of space. But yeah, you guys start heading down there. The walls
On the way in,
Mhm.
but just so that this has already been said, on the way in, I'm gonna switch my spear to its spear and shield.
Okay.
And I'm going to hold it up. I'm gonna look over at Gelmar. Shield wall.
Good one. As he said, as given. He says, running his gloved hand over the gauntlet as you see glow matching, or as well as a sigil appearing on your shield at the same time. I will activate shield wall.
Very nice.
Forward and on.
Ania will also cast Owl's Wisdom on herself, so she gets advantage on Wisdom.
Nice. All right.
I'll go ahead and cast Bless for Cyril and the 2 in front, and also Nia, so she can catch anything that happens.
All right, cool. So the rough marching order is Cyril and Gelmar, followed by Ania and Dakota, and Rue and Sapphire in the back, making sure that the 2 squishies are protected, but also Rue and Sapphire have dark vision, so they can see not only behind them, but also in front of them, and Sapphire has the best range of the party. Cyril, Ania, and Gelmar are all being blessed. Gelmar's doing shield wall. And what was the thing to go?
I'm gonna put on a True Strike, but also an Armor of Agathis.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then if y'all could do me a favor and either post this in group notes or VC or anything of that sort, that'd be very, very helpful. Just so I don't forget any of this next week, because I will. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this so far. As you guys are walking down, the walls to your sides have a strange bioluminescence of a moss that is growing on there. You're not entirely sure what it's feeding off of, but is glowing a very gentle blue as you guys take a step. Each of the stairs are kind of like, they have a small amount of this moss, and as you guys hit it, it kind of seems to slide up the sides of the walls and kind of illuminate a little bit of it. It's not particularly bright, but it does allow you guys to see the next stair and the next stair and the next stair and so on. So you guys are slowly marching down into the darkness as you really can't see anything down below. It is honestly getting a lot colder, especially it being autumn, day 7. It is getting a lot colder as you guys walk down these stairs. It just seems to get even colder. Whether that be physical, whether that be just a really, really bad feeling, you're not entirely sure. But feel free to pop by next week, Friday, 6 p.m. PST, if you guys want to know more about this. If you guys want to see the group possibly murdering some snakes, or if you guys want to see whether or not this tree is going to survive this encounter after roughly, possibly, a month or longer of being hounded by these snakes. If you guys are interested in any of that content, please go check out our various socials, as you can see right there, thanks to the lovely Yuki. And we are going to go ahead and pop over to a raid here real quick. Somehow we actually ended pretty much on time, which I'm very surprised about. Usually.
Before we end the stuff, I would like to so as people are in the marching order, if anyone's like noticing, so he's trying to make it so he's not noticed. He's kind of starting to linger like towards the back, and he starts to slightly flicker in his form as he starts to like kind of dwindle in like size just slightly as he begins to almost flicker. He's trying to hold it back to a more elven shape.
Oh.
Fancy. All right. Well, we're going to
I
have
feel like
a...
Stalker would notice since
Oh.
Dakota's right in front of me.
Oh, yeah, you would
Yeah.
100% notice, yeah.
Oh, he's trying to turn into something else than Dakota. Oh my gosh, that must be such. That must be crazy.
Definitely be a very, very uncomfortable feeling, I would assume, for some of y'all. Oh,
No.
I appreciate that. I was about to type that, Yuki. Thank you. We're going to have a little bit of a tone shift here from the Ookie Spookies. We're going to go over to my friend Wispin White, W-I-G-H-T. We're going to go over to her. She was playing some Minecraft. She was doing a Streamers versus Minecraft SMP is what her title says. So I'm not entirely sure what all that means, but she's an absolute sweetheart. I don't get to raid her very often or really get to talk to her all that much. So we're going to pop over to her, say hi. If you guys are interested in Minecraft or anything of that sort, feel free to say hi as well. She is a darling. Don't know much about her character story, but she is a 2D VTuber, so she's pretty cool. All right, we're going to see all of you fine, lovely folks next week at 6 p.m. PST, or we're going to be seeing you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. PST for the sister campaign, King's Kindness. We have a very different vibe for that group, a very different a PNG. No, she's a VTuber. At least I think she's a VTuber. Yeah, because it's 2D or 2.5D. I don't know how the fucking virtual tuber stuffs work. I don't do that. I'm a PNG fucking tuber. Thank you very much. But if you guys want to see all that fun stuff, please do. And go check out Storyestry because she did make this wonderful, wonderful artwork. So as always, fucking pinging her because I can. Ha, gotcha. All right. We'll see all of you fine folks later. Bye.